But the Ravens are weird because they look so good with the stats, but they suck in the red zone.
They can't close games, bro.
Yeah, that's true. As you're seeing right
From
now,
the coach to the star player, there are some non-closing game bamboos.
which I'm not sure. I'm not sure why that is. It's a little weird, but
It is.
maybe the run game isn't what it
What was
was or
that,
something.
Odell?
I don't know. I don't know why it is that way, but it's weird that they can't finish games like that. It really is. It's very
Some
weird.
people just not built for it, like pressure-wise. Honestly,
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it's a new offense coordinator. I don't know if it's
no. This
what's
goes back
going
to
on.
last year.
But let's get to the games.
Get to
Your team. Your
Why we even
5-0.
cover this, bro? Niners gonna destroy these dudes, and if they don't, I'm gonna be upset. And at the end of the day, just come out of it healthy. The Browns are playing PJ Walker, bro. This does not take any analysis.
What happened to the UCLA kid?
DTR. Once he got the seal of approval from Chase, it was a wrap. Chase don't like Chase don't like black quarterbacks. He don't like black anything.
A
really,
whole full week of prep is what I think. I mean, I like him, but that's kind of a bad situation to be thrown in the middle of, don't you?
But he got beat up pretty bad, man. And for what it's worth, I would rather PJ Walker try to navigate this defense than the rookie because I mean he took a lot of hits.
Yeah, he did. But the only thing I'm concerned about with y'all is Myles Garrett and that defense. The corners typically are pretty good. Denzel Ward is always in and out of the lineup. But do you think that defense could give y'all trouble?
Oh yeah, no, the defense can definitely give us trouble. They're as good as advertised, and I am curious to see how we navigate that kind of defense. Even though if you look at the other top teams, like if we're talking Eagles, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, whatever you want to throw in as potential contenders, none of them really have that kind of defense. The Lions kind of got it up front a little bit, but I would like to see us handle a more physical style of defense coming at us. Not trying to knock the Cowboys, but y'all are not physical enough.
Yeah, I don't know. Y'all, they're not gonna be able to score enough on y'all to win.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't.
So just with that situation with your defense, it might end up being low scoring, but I can't see a scenario where y'all lose that game. What about covering? What do you think?
If you got it at 6.5, you should love it. At 9.5, I still would give it a look. Like the Niners need an ugly game, though. I would put it that way. We need an ugly game. And
I mean, the
this
Rams
score
was sort of ugly. The Cardinals was sort of ugly.
An ugly game outside of the division, though.
Okay,
okay. Those are games that we would typically in spots have some trouble. Like I want to see us against teams outside the division get this ugly game out the way. And we should win at minimum, like something like 17-3 or something like that.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. But I don't know. Y'all are 4-0-1 against the spread this year. 3 straight covers. I think we're both taking them. I think y'all cover definitely 6.5, probably the 9.5. Let's move on to your favorite team. The Seattle Seahawks are playing the Bills. The Bengals was 2.5 on Friday. You can tell me if it's adjusted. We finally got to see the real Joe Burrow. The man is
stop.
Come on.
Stop.
Let's be honest. And this is Cory. You know I'm a Joe Burrow fan. Next Joe Montana. How hard is it to get the ball to Jamar Chase?
Apparently, it's extremely hard. It happens every year.
Evidently. Like I don't see a weakness in his game, but they insist on only using him for big plays. So
it's crazy.
It's weird.
No, it's crazy. He's like you literally have the most dynamic receiver in the league, and you typecast him like he's just a vertical. Who's the dude? Mike Williams. That's who they try to make him like Mike Williams. Like, bro, no, he is Keenan Allen. Yeah, he's Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and every other receiver they got on that team in one. He is whatever you need him to be. So get him the ball. And it's a shame that he has to publicly tell you, I'm always open. Get me the ball.
It's funny because there's Tyreek Hill could easily be treated like that, but they come up with all kinds of creative ways to get him the ball. You don't just see Tyreek Hill catch it deep because obviously teams are going to play for that. He's in motion. He's in the backfield. He's playing tight end. He does everything. He's in the slot, but I don't see the lack of creativity. And
say it.
You're trying to compensate for what Burrow has been doing, and you got to come up with better ways than they've done.
Hashtag scheme them open. The Ravens are at a total yardage of -1 for the third quarter.
Jesus, what's the score now?
It's 18-13. Titans are on their 40-3.
It was 18-3. How is this possible that they just give up
every time?
Like this?
But Zach Taylor, is he calling the plays? Who's calling the plays?
To my knowledge, it was Zach Taylor.
Then he needs to stop. This is 3 years in a row, bro. 3 years in a row where I have said the same things. Like, hey, they need blocking. Hey, Burrow should always be in shotgun. Hey, you shouldn't be going so much side to side. You should be going down the field more. Hey, why don't we work the middle of the field? You know what hurt the Bengals for real? When they lost their tight end.
Yeah. Safety valve.
Yeah.
Because they don't, for some reason, they can't make Jamar Chase into a possession receiver. Well, not possession, but the ability to be a possession receiver is really weird. So I don't know what they're doing. But how do you see this game playing out?
I actually think that the Bengals cover, man. I'm scared because I think people are overvaluing that Seahawks secondary, and they're not that good. And my understanding is Higgins might be back. And this is what they've done. Yeah, this is what they've done the last 2 or 3 years. They get the rolling around this time. So I actually sided with the Bengals.
I would take the Bengals too. It looks like they're getting going again. We have the 1-4 Vikings against the 1-4 Bears. What happened?
He threw an interception.
Who?
Tannehill. Yeah, unnecessary.
Let Malik spin it. Just let
unnecessary, bro.
Let Malik sling it, man. 2.5 for the Vikings again. That was Friday. Might have changed. Justin Jefferson is out 4 to 6 weeks. How much do you think that affects them?
Oh, I mean, it's going to affect them a lot. You're going to be asking Jordan Addison to take on like 3 to 4 times the workload that he's been doing. Your rushing offense is unreliable. I don't want Madison anywhere near the ball, man. He fumbles too much. The whole team fumbles too much, actually.
I don't understand what the rush was to get rid of Dalvin Cook. I really don't. It made
money, I guess,
more explosive. Yeah, it made the offense more explosive. It added another dimension. Without Jefferson, I mean, Kirk Cousins is a serviceable quarterback, but I have a hard time believing they're gonna be successful. Maybe you could tank for Caleb. I don't know. This is Kirk Cousins last year, and a lot of people talking about him getting traded, but he said he's not waiving a no trade clause. First of all, how can you be so desperate to give Kirk Cousins a no trade clause? That's wild.
Well, at that time, if we're going back to when he got, I mean,
no trade though.
The market was wild,
trade. And I was in favor because the Vikings were a quarterback away. They had Case Keenum. And they went to the NFC Championship game and got blown out by the Eagles, I think it was. But they had a really good season. I honestly would have brought Keenum back. But I understood why they went with Cousins because they thought they were quarterback away. But the defense got bad or not bad, but it eroded over time. And, of course, Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, and I'm sorry again for the background noise. But I don't know what Kirk Cousins has going on, man. And I know people are like, oh, he's a nice guy and this and that. But he just isn't clutch.
No, I mean, if the league was deep, he'd be an average quarterback or slightly above average. So that's what you're getting. You're getting the variance of a guy that's a B or a B minus. Mm-hmm. People that get, if you talk about me being a teacher, if you get a B, you miss some questions on the test. And that's what we see a lot of times. he misses the questions, and he damn sure don't get the bonus questions ever.
Nah, not at all. He's the worst 2-minute drill quarterback with his experience I've seen in a while.
I've never seen anything like it. It's constantly they can't get plays in. Like, dude, you call the plays. Do something. The speakers don't work. There's always something going on to make an excuse. He's throwing 5 to 6. Nobody in the history of the league have I seen in 2-minute drills throw the ball 5 or 6 yards short of the first down on 4th downs. And you just expect your guy to get it in there and he got 5 more yards to go. It makes no sense. He makes no sense. But I didn't bash. They look good last time against the Commanders. I didn't bash Justin Fields. He's playing better. Bravo. This will be the kiss of death because I think they're actually gonna cover, maybe win.
To the Vikings?
No, the Bears.
Oh, I was confused for a second there. Yeah. And I really need to turn this off. I'm so confused by this game. Let me get the Bears point suit just because the Vikings, I mean, can we trust them? Who knows? Every time I thought they've been good enough to cover, they've only got it for once, and they barely got that.
Yeah, they haven't been. They're 1-4 this season in 1-score games. But the Bears' defense isn't good. I feel like you can figure out their offense, even though it's been decent lately. They kind of unleashed him a little bit with Fields, and he's been running more. But I'll take the Bears to win outright, even, which hopefully that makes them lose because I've been a jinx this year. Next game, the Commanders and the Falcons. 2-3 Commanders after getting humiliated. You don't know at the Falcons. Both of these teams, you have no idea which team's going to show up.
I mean, yeah, you can say that about a lot of people, but these teams definitely are hit or miss. More so the Commanders. I mean, the Falcons you can kind of depend on when they're at home. And this line's actually at like 1 now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So I guess they're betting on the Commanders. The money's coming in on the Commanders.
Yeah, it was kind of late, but yeah, I think over the last couple of days.
That's interesting because it's also home, and they play a lot better at home than they do in the road. That would be the Falcons. So I guess I would go the Falcons. I guess it's kind of
one and a half. Sorry, 1.5. But I think it's more of a bounce back spot.
This will be one of those games in the witching hour that they talk about on Red Zone that'll be decided by a few mistakes or something like that. I mean, do you want who are you taking? Ritter, or are you taking Sam Howell? That's our decision we have to make.
Yeah. I'm still on Ritter's better at home. I think there are some matchups that the Falcons can exploit. And I think one of those matchups is using Bijan in space, man. I don't think the Commanders are athletic defense. I'll put it that way. Athletic, like they're not quick and they're not speedy in their secondary or in the box. So I think if they can use Bijan like they were using him the first couple weeks, like with the flare outs, the screens. Hold on. I complained about it because they didn't need to use him like that. Then they needed to get the ball to Pitts in London. I don't think
he wasn't getting enough touches.
Well, no. Well, the first week was none of the playmakers were getting touches. None of them. All of them.
Hard.
But I'm saying you drafted him in a top 10 position.
Scat back essentially, which I wouldn't do that either.
But I'm saying you drafted him in a top 10 position. He got like 5 to 7 carries, but like 10 targets.
Game, man.
Yeah, but that's crazy. Why am I throwing him the ball 10 times?
Because he's explosive. Who you got?
I got the Falcons.
Especially if it's one, I got the Falcons and at home. I think that's a good thing. But it's something in my mind about the Commanders making a comeback because they got so humiliated last game, and it's something about that. But
have you looked at their coach?
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
Does he remember the score from last game?
And obviously, probably not. Obviously, pressure is a problem with Sam Howell. He's on record to defeat the sack record by David. I always get him confused. David Carr. And that's tough. And a lot of it is he holds the ball.
Is that in a season?
And he processes slowly. What?
Is that in one season?
Yes.
What is it like? Hold on, I swear I looked this up before. It's close to like 100, ain't it?
I think it's like 98. Let me see if I can go back up.
Yeah, now like I literally remember like randomly seeing this because I thought at one point Joe Burrow was gonna break it.
Yeah, he was on the way. Let's see. It is 29 times. They didn't say the number. Most sacked quarterback was David Carr with 39, but I don't have let's see. I don't have the actual, that's through 6 games, David.
Yeah.
Sack.
In the season, man, I swear he was close to 100.
76 is the most he ever got.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. They said something. Yeah, 76, which is a lot. That's a lot. That's not counting how many times he got hit.
In a 16
That's
game
just
season.
simply counting in a 16 game season. All right, so we got the Dolphins favored by 13.5, maybe more by now, and the Panthers haven't won a game. What do you think? Do you think the onus here is on Bryce Young or the organization?
The Panthers are not talented. I don't know what people expected from them. Yeah. Even if Bryce Young was playing like CJ Stroud, they still have the same record. They're just not talented.
They don't have a starting receiver.
Yeah,
I guess Hayden Hurst and Thielen actually had a good game, but they don't have a true receiver. Or I don't know why they got rid of DJ Moore, but they don't have a true starting receiver. They don't have a good line. The defense is okay, so I'm not sure what people expected. You got growing pains from a young quarterback, but you haven't given that young quarterback anything to hang his hat on.
Yeah, and for the most part, he makes the plays that you would expect from him when you saw him play at Alabama. So I'm not sure why people are like saying things like maybe they should go to Andy Dalton and this and that. Like, let the kid play, man. He's not doing that terrible. The team ain't doing that great either.
Yeah, I don't understand it. But how much do you think the Dolphins are going to beat them by? Could get ugly.
I mean, it could get ugly, but it also could get kind of goofy because Tua's getting a little too lax with the ball.
Yeah, he was struggling with the interception. They kind of had to do some.
And it won't just a bit. It was some bad decision making.
Yeah, it was all running, and the one pass that he threw was like a shuffle pass. So yeah, I mean, this is a good time to get right. They have a pass rush, and that's about it. Who's my guy? Horn is always hurt.
What about Burns?
I guess he gets pressure, but he's one
guy.
He's definitely not dominating.
I mean, he's the only guy I can name on the defense.
Good. I like him. He's one of my favorites.
People keep saying JC. I ain't seen him play. When he play?
Have you seen? Yeah, exactly. I don't. Rarely. One game a season seems like. So do you think they cover the big spread?
I'll give him a shot to cover here.
And actually, I don't know if you saw the news. We're moving on to the Colts and the Jags. I don't know if you saw the news, but they're talking about a surgery for Anthony Richardson and for his AC joint.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I saw. I got an alert on that. I saw it. Hey, wait, can we pause real quick? Can we pause real quick though?
Yeah.
Your man, John Harbaugh, is on the 2-yard line of 18-13. Tristan, cover your ears. Cover your ears. And he's kicking a fucking field goal.
Who is it? What's the score?
It's 18-13. He's got Lamar Jackson. What are you doing? It's 2 yards. Like, this is why I get mad. And look, the game is now 21-13. So the Titans are still in the game.
I mean, that is too conservative. I mean, I wouldn't be that conservative, but I see why they do it.
To be quiet. But it's crazy. This is the NFL, bro. We got all this analytical data for what? For what? If you don't read, I know you don't watch film. Because if you read, you know that's not the right call. That's all I'm saying. It's ridiculous.
I like
But anyway,
bid
back
right
to
now,
the game. Back to the game.
I do. Let me see. I'm trying to see if Cory's coming in. I think when you're in your own territory, you're inside the 10, most of the time you should go for it because you're giving the guy have to go 90 yards. So
and they're going to go 3 and out more than likely.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess it's a momentum thing to me sometimes. Like if you're struggling, you have 2-3 plays and you can't move the ball, then yeah, I can see that. But most of the time, I'm gonna go because I'm gonna make that team march that far. So, but that's a philosophy. But I know you get frustrated. But I don't mind when people go conservative more so because they're saying their team suck and a legitimate strategy is that you're gonna make more mistakes. If you make less mistakes than the other team, you're gonna win. But it gets more outdated every year.
Yeah, it's stupid. God, it's stupid. But anyway,
I certainly wouldn't do it with basketball. I know football I would do it with, but I never would do that with basketball as a coach. So, but that's just, I mean, I do think aggression wins. But if you can't call the plays and your quarterbacks, the one thing's in common with these teams that you get mad at, the quarterback sucks.
Yeah. So you should go for the points.
But maybe because the quarterback sucks, you don't try a fourth down, though.
But it's 2 yards with Lamar Jackson, man.
You would think. Well, he doesn't suck, but generally you get upset.
It's 2 yards.
All right, Colts and the Jags.
I shouldn't.
You don't know what to do with the Colts.
I shouldn't, but I am. I shouldn't, but I am.
I don't know what to do with the Colts, but they will have Minshew in. The Jags are 3-2. They showed a little something. Do you think that was the real Jags team, or they just had an advantage because they were in London and they're used to it, and Buffalo wasn't?
Oh no, it's definitely an advantage. It wasn't the real Jags team. But when they play good, and they show flashes of what they can be, I think that's their peak. But generally with this team, it's somewhere between that game against the Texans and the game like the first half of the Bills game is what I would say, because they were pretty dominant that first half.
I'm disappointed with them this year. I thought maybe they'd be like a 12-13 win team.
Malik Willis is in.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Man, I'm missing this. They probably will be a 10-11 win team. And to me, that's pretty disappointing. Now, I know a lot of people want to blame it on Trevor Lawrence, but there were a lot of drops the first 2-3 games. So he was doing the thing. And that pass he did to the sidelines was a total dime. So if they could ever put it together where he played well, the receivers played well, and the defense played well, then they would be something. But it's 4.5 right now via somebody. I think it's MGM. Who do you think is going to take it?
I'm going to take my points with the Colts again. I feel like I'm telling you that I shouldn't, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I just think that because we haven't seen a consistent Jacksonville team this year, that this is going to be one of those down games for them. They should still win, but I can see them starting out a little slower, just having some goofy stuff happen.
So the Colts allow the 5th most passing yards per game in the NFL. So Kirk had a good game, really had a good game last week. And we'll see what Edgar, but just with those weapons, you would think they would just be more explosive. And ETN, he does his thing, but you would just think they'd be more explosive.
Hey, look, I'm already more excited about this Titans offense off of 2 plays. I saw Malik play action. I saw Malik play action, roll out, hit my man for a 9-yard dart, and then I just saw.
Let me turn it on.
I just saw.
I'm gonna have to turn it on because
Henry,
Malik is spinning. Malik is finally getting a chance to spin. I just want to be on record for everybody. I said he might be good for 6 weeks now. I didn't say this is going to be a permanent thing, but anything to change, anything to make some plays, a team like that, you just need somebody out there that can make some plays. So, you obviously aren't going anywhere with Tannehill.
And just the ability to run the ball, just like he just did, just to get out the pocket and scramble, is going to help them a lot this particular game. But yeah, come on, Malik. Anyway.
Saints and the Texans. The Texans have been surprisingly good, 2-3. We've talked about how great CJ Stroud is, but the Saints are another team. I really can't figure out. They lost to Tampa Bay. I didn't expect that. Maybe Tampa Bay is better than I thought, but I can't figure out the Saints. Can you?
No. Well, actually, you know what? Since Cory ain't on yet, I'll say it. Derek Carr sucks, and Dennis Allen isn't that great. The defense is pretty solid though. That defense, I give them a lot of credit, especially up front. But yeah, they're just one of these teams offensively, bro. They're not explosive, and in today's game, you have to have some kind of threat of explosion, like big games. Like they don't have that. They don't even have that in their playbook, it seems like. So because of that, they
have
struggle.
Derek Carr. That's why.
Yeah.
They have Derek Carr.
And that's the only thing truly that makes them kind of hard to figure out, because the defense every week has been doing their thing. Yeah. But that offense, you just can't depend on them.
The Saints defense allows the 6th lowest QBR at 46.4, and they've got 7 interceptions, which is tied for 3rd. They got Kamara back, and I feel like the first week it was good, and then after that, it's like, So I guess the under would probably be good because the Saints have covered the under in 11 straight games, so maybe that means they won't this week. But that's a stat. If I had to pick, I would not touch this game. But if I had to pick, I would pick the Texans. I don't see the Texans getting blown out, especially at home.
Yeah, I don't see them getting blown out because the Saints just had the game of their life.
Yeah, that too. So yeah, I just don't. I don't know. That's just a game that won't be on the red zone a lot.
Yeah, probably. Actually, you know what though? I will say I got a prop on CJ Stroud to go over 219 passing yards. I think he's at the level now where you can trust him to get stuff like that done, even if the defense is good.
Moving on to the Patriots and the Raiders, you are very critical of the Patriots next to the Falcons. The Patriots are the team that you probably are most critical about. Then we have the Raiders, who you never know what you're going to get. They won on Monday night, short week. Why do you think Bill hasn't gone to Zappy yet?
Because it don't matter. It really don't. I mean, I love Bailey Zappi, but he ain't doing nothing with this team either. They don't have no athletes, bro. 0 athletes on offense. The best athlete on their offense is arguably Juju or Devontae Parker, and they're or Kendrick Bourne, I think. What is this nonsense? You got a couple guys on the team that literally would be happy to make a roster, and you're starting.
I know a lot of teams.
Yeah,
those
you're
guys,
starting.
Those receivers couldn't make the Cowboys receiving team. They couldn't make the Cowboys receiving core. They couldn't probably make the Eagles in the slot, maybe, but they couldn't make the Eagles receiving core. They have a hard time with the Commanders. So
I don't know what to say other than
what the strategy is.
Yeah, the
Sorry,
Patriots.
Jermaine, I forgot the Jermaine and Richard. I forgot the comments. It's always a lot to master here. But how do you see it going down? Who do you have?
I hate to say this. It's just a riskier play, but I'm gonna go Patriots money line just for the simple fact that Mac Jones has never covered a spread as a dog. He's 0-12, and he's never had an upset win either. And I feel like if there was ever a team that could give Bill a win when he so badly needs it, it's against one of his kids who can't coach either.
Yeah, that's true. They usually don't do very well against him, but well, dang, I don't know. The Patriots just so bad, and it's embarrassing. So I don't know. I guess I would take the Raiders 3. That makes sense. Cardinals at the Rams. It is 7. That seems like a lot to me for a team that's in every game. I would take the Cardinals plus 7 if that's still what it is. What would you do?
I'm gonna lay it with the Rams. They're a team that's been competitive against good teams, and the Cardinals are not a good team. I don't care how competitive they are. And Connor's
out. Who made his presence known last week?
I think Connor's out too, right?
Yeah, Connor's out. Thank for the season. I don't know how long, but he's definitely out. So let's move on to the Eagles and the Jets. You will see a good defense versus, Zach Zach was all right, but this is not the kind of team that he would thrive against. They should be able to get a lot of pressure. Jets O-line is, they should be able to get a lot of pressure and give Zach a lot of trouble. On the other side, I'm really interested to see how Jalen Hurts responds. I think Jalen Hurts has been all right, but I think they're holding him to a standard of last year when everything was perfect. But I think he's been fine.
He's been okay. He hasn't been MVP candidate good. He hasn't had a really good plus clean game. It's either been a clean game with like mid stats, or it's been a good game, but it hasn't been clean. Like, I'm still looking for him to put it all together here. Whereas last year there was plenty of games where they were both clean and good. And the real storyline here is, how healthy are the Eagles? Is Jalen Carter playing? Because he ended up on the injury report with the ankle.
Yeah, he was on there.
And there's a couple other guys. Yeah,
big of a factor he is, but
yeah, and so that's worrisome to me. And I'll be honest with you. I think the secondary for the Eagles is one of their weakest points. If you take Jalen Carter out of that defense, the way he's playing right now, take Jalen Carter out of that defense. Personally, I don't know what to expect. For real, because if Carter's out, and then it shifts that line of scrimmage control a little bit more, where Zach Wilson doesn't necessarily get as much pressure because he's a big pressure guy for them. And if Breece Hall can get a little busy because they're already a little thin at linebacker and in their secondary, it could make for a more interesting game. On the other side, I think Sauce is a little banged up this week.
Banged up too. Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if the Eagles can run on them, because everything with the Eagles predicates on the run. And if you could just make Jalen a purely drop back passer, you might have a different game. But with Zach Wilson against that defense, I don't see it. And he's showing flashes, but I don't see it.
He said Jalen Carter's out.
Okay.
Yeah. And what is something to be said too. You got Eagles coming back to the East Coast. That travel sometimes can catch people too.
Yeah. All right. So I would lay the 7 with the Eagles. What about you?
I'm gonna be contrarian, and I'll take my points with the Jets.
All right. Let's go the Lions and the Bucks. The Bucks have been a very surprising team. I'm not sure how they win games. Baker has been very serviceable, 3-1. Obviously, the Lions are on a huge, huge tear. But the line is only 3. Doesn't that seem a little fishy? You're the gambler. That seems a little odd.
Nah, man, because, we still don't – I don't personally believe, and I'm pretty sure odd makers don't believe in Jared Goff outside of the dome. That's really the only thing. But I ride with Meathead. I mean, at 3, I haven't had any luck with this number when I take the favorite against the Bucks. For some reason, the Bucks wind up winning these games when I go the opposite way. So I'm gonna lay the points with the Bucks on this one. They're coming off a bye week too. That's something to be considered too. They're coming off a bye week. And they're not
the Bucks, right?
Yeah, the Bucks. They're not a bad rush defense. So if they can control the explosive plays that Montgomery gives the Lions, then the Lions will have to work a little bit harder to drive the ball, and we might see a couple more mistakes from outdoor Goff. He's not the same as indoor Goff.
He's not. Give me Detroit. Let's go.
Why you say it so quick? You team me here. Let's go.
I'm stopping doubting on Detroit. I'm starting to think they might be better than the Cowboys, which is kind of scary. The Giants and the Bills. The Giants are just hapless. The only way I can see, this is the Sunday night football game too. The only way I can see them competing is if Buffalo just sleepwalks and it's a pride game for the Giants. But I haven't really seen a pride game from the Giants. Unless you counting the Cardinals, which they aren't good.
Yeah, I would say that'd be the only one. Tyrod Mike can give us a.
Oh yeah, there's Tyrod Taylor too. Ew.
Maybe I don't know, man. The Bills
be 21. Spread should probably be 21.
Well, if the Bills defense was healthy,
yeah, they're banged up too. But come on,
they down to playing B on defense. A lot of injuries over there. So I mean, the Bills shouldn't have a problem scoring at will. I just don't like it being like 15 and then like almost 75-80% of the public is on that.
Yeah, the public's been winning this year so far, but eventually that changes.
Too rich for my taste.
That can change real quick. Cowboys and the Chargers, Monday Night Football. I have no faith in my team. We're 2.5 point favorites. We had a tough game with them last year that they felt like they should have won. We're good after a loss. We're 5-0 against the spread the last 2 seasons and 9-1 in the past 3 seasons with 7 straight covers after a loss. So on that, just from a gambling perspective, I would go with that because we come back strong, but I have no faith in this team anymore.
Yeah, on the podcast, I was like, give me the points with the Cowboys, but the more I thought about it, and then they get Eckler back, I like the Chargers. Yeah, I like the Chargers here, man, because I think that with the loss of LPE, they can make you move Parsons away from the edge rushing a lot more.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to pick your poison. Do I want them down or do I need them in the secondary? And Kellen Moore's probably got a good read.
That's also true.
How the defense uses people, and as much as I would think that this would be a bounce back spot, I just think it's just a unfortunate spot.
And they find a way to lose too, so they're worse than us on that level, where they find a way to lose games.
Oh yeah.
Hello. You came in just in time. The Cowboys versus the Chargers. We got a 2.5 spread here. I know you got my team to win, right?
Yeah, I think so. Chargers like a JV version of y'all.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They find a way to blow it every time.
Yeah, so I don't see them actually winning. I don't see it.
Let's go back and get a couple more games for you. 49ers and the Browns. Best defense in the NFL against y'all.
Oh, I thought you was calling us the best defense in the NFL. If Watson was
doing that, but no, sir.
If Watson was playing that, if Watson was playing, I'd actually call this an upset spot for sure. I thought all week I was like, don't put in the teaser, but I mean PJ Walker's not big.
Who is it, Alan? Who's starting?
PJ Walker. XFL starting. Yeah, it's not happening. PJ not getting it done.
No, not against y'all. That's kind of scary. That's not. And I will do it because I do love you. So Seattle and the Bengals, I will go back to this game just for you. Joe Burrow, all the slander, finally healthy, and look what happened, man. Look at it.
So 5 days made him healthy, and he was just like completely unable to play.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't just magically be. You can't run like he was running for a week later, and that same injury stopped you from being able to throw. That don't even make sense. Like, let's talk the truth. He do this every year. He's always injured. I'm not, bro. He gets treated like a top 3 quarterback, and then no one says anything when he's the worst quarterback in the league statistically.
He eventually shows up. He starts slow. What's wrong with that? People start slow.
Everything. He got the most money in the history of the NFL, and he's played the worst in the NFL for a whole month. What's wrong with this?
Well, watch what happens. Watch what happens coming up now. Watch what's about to happen. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch what's about to happen.
So he's hot and cold. That sounds like top 10, not top 3 to me.
Well, there's not a lot of great quarterbacks.
Not only that, he also has the best weapons in the whole NFL. Just like he has the best weapons in the history of college.
Mixon ain't all that anymore, and T. Higgins is not what you trying to make him to be.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, if you use him.
You saw what he made Chase look like. If he can make Chase look trash, what you think the number 2 gonna look like? And Tyler Boyd's the best number 3 receiver in all of football.
And they don't even give him the ball. It's crazy.
But you can't give him the ball if the quarterback can only hit 1 out of every 3 throws. You can't get the number 3 receiver the ball.
Man was not healthy, and now he's healthy. Just stop hating, man.
Okay, so what's the excuse in 2 weeks?
There's not gonna be an excuse. He's gonna win it all.
You don't believe it.
Hey,
he's gonna be fine.
Ronnie, get your boy. Get your boy.
Who? Malik.
Harbaugh, man, just kick the ball, bro.
That ain't the right Harbaugh, buddy. You saw what my Harbaugh out there doing. You saw what my Harbaugh out there doing.
You go over the house for Thanksgiving, man. God, what a clown.
You saw what my man doing. Let's see if we can find what's another game, Corey, that you find interesting.
The early we done Philly and the Jets yet?
Not yet, no. I mean, yeah, we have. We've done everything almost.
Upset alert.
You think so?
Zach, I do. This is the type of game Philly blows, man. A physical team on the road, cruising along. I don't trust Zach Wilson against that line, but I seen Hall have some explosion if they can run the football. I mean, I've seen Jalen Hurts turn it over 2-3 times in the game before. This is the type of game they slip up. Upset alert.
I need a backdoor cover here. Come on, Malik.
It could be. Trying to think of another game that you could hit.
Upset alert.
Commanders and the Falcons. Weird game. What did I take? We both took the Falcons 2.5 because they play well at home.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since we doing this, if you can just only be good 2 out of every 6 games, you're a Ritter fan, right?
Let's move on to if
we saying only one game counts, but we must say Ritter that game.
What are we doing?
Hey,
let's look at Joe Burrow's overall stats from last year. Let's stop, man.
Sebastian wants to know who do we think gets the worst record and gets Caleb.
We sure that's a prize anymore? I'm joking. No Caleb slander. He's that guy.
Yeah, you really did. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I would never do that. I haven't hyped nobody like him since like Sunshine. I'm a big fan. I believe in it.
I don't think I hyped anybody like him since.
Hey, Sebastian, I'm gonna say y'all get the worst record, but you ain't gonna get Caleb.
Yeah, y'all got a shot, man. Y'all really do got a shot. Arizona keep trying too hard, but maybe Denver. But Denver is bad. They're so bad. But
they're real bad.
But maybe Arizona, and who else would be in it? Chicago better start trying. But
the Vikings are in it.
Yeah, Vikings literally tanked it. Justin Jefferson is not even hurt.
Yeah, so they could just go out there. So
hey, Corey, Richard said he'll take that bet with the Jets.
Thank you.
Who do you Corey? Who do you got in this game?
Well, I just told you. I think I might start believing in Ritter, so I got them. Okay. He was horrible in college.
He's horrible now, most of the time. But and then we got this last game I asked you. We got the Lions. I'm losing my Lions game.
I got the Lions. I don't need to know more. They play in Tampa. I don't trust Baker. I think the Lions defense is actually decent. So I surely don't trust Baker for real.
All right, you got any daily fantasy picks?
I do. I mean, if you just heard me talk, I like Ritter at home, man. He's been playing really, really good home. I like him. I think you compare him with Smith or Pitts or London. My boy Drake London finally coming back. So I like offense Falcons. And then I think I would stay away from that Chicago game. A lot of people love that Chicago Minnesota game. With just those receivers with Jefferson hurt, but it's 30-degree winds. I probably would actually lean towards the under in that game with 30-degree winds and Justin Fields and Kirk Cousins. That doesn't sound a recipe for over 45 points to me. So I'm staying away from that Chicago game completely. Don't like that. And I don't mind some big games from those Jacksonville boys, Ridley, as well as Etienne.
Richard calling you out. He said $50, bro, on the Jets Eagles game.
You want to give me plus 390 or whatever it is?
Just bet, bro. Just bet.
Oh, man.
All right, I got company, so I'm gonna end it here. Everybody.
Well, I don't get to do my bets. Enough you got company. Hold on, bro. You see this, y'all?
You got at least 4 minutes, man. You got 4 minutes.
That's I got company. You're crazy. On a Sunday morning, did the Lord come see you? Did the Lord come see you? It's 12:26. You got company. Oh, all right, cool. Thank you. I like a couple props today. I like Justin Fields anytime scorer plus 135. And I like Jonathan Taylor anytime scorer plus 135. I think he get a shot today. Don't turn your face up at that. And then CJ Stroud over 219 passing yards.
Yeah, that's always CJ Stroud over 219 all day, every day, always.
Yeah, we in there. So yeah, and then since we lost Ronnie, I don't know who you want to free, yo. I'm still free Joe Burrow. I mean, I'm free Chase.
Okay, I'm like, Ron.
Yeah,
He free. He free. Man, we got free CD Lamb, man. They don't treat that man right there. Been telling them. Dallas don't deserve that boy. I'll tell you that right now. And now another thing, people can stop disrespecting Purdy in the media. I don't like that. I don't like that. They talking about some Mac Jones could do exactly what he did. Don't do that. Let's not do that.
Dan O said that craziness on ESPN, man. That's crazy. He can't.
I listen. I seen Jimmy G in Cal's system, and he looked better than he looks now. But it won't this. So let's not act like people with pedigree can just get in there and do whatever.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming through, Cory, even though your brother rude. I guess the Lord came to see him early. So Richard said free Devontae Smith. That's your quarterback.
No, I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. That's messed up. They got to get that man the ball. AJ barked on that man. He got scared and they ain't throw it to him exclusively. That's messed up.
Yeah. Well, I'll holler at you, bro, and everybody take care.
Sounds good.